So if you missed it, this is part 2, well really part 3 of, one day's filming of a Stick With Me, because she got a little distracted. It was, sidetracked before she actually started sticking anything anywhere. And then spouses interrupt us. So she tries to plow through the tag questions as best she's capable of doing, which is nothing short of a miracle for her to finish anything, because if you've kept track of the videos, she's a 95%er. So I think, yeah, she puts forth a good effort, but yeah, who knows? Who knows what she's gonna do? She doesn't know what the hell she's doing. Why should we know what she's gonna do? Okay.
Hey guys, so it's been, I don't know, a couple days since I was doing that, excuse me, Jasmine, since I was doing the Stick With Me, and I don't even know what day that was, but figured I'd try to get through some more of the questions while I have some time, because I have another unboxing I want to get to. And I need to get these videos done and off, wow, the hell was that? Off of my camera as quickly as I can, because I don't have a lot of memory. I'm like battling the memory on my camera, because my phone, I should say, because I keep ending up with all these videos that need to be edited and they're piling up and I'm running out of memory and then accidentally deleting things. So I want to get through this so I can get it up and get it off of the camera so I can do the unboxing. So, I believe the last question I had answered was my favorite diamond painting. Favorite stores. No, I think I did favorite diamond painting related YouTubers. I think I covered that. Favorite non-diamond painting, there's not a lot. I think I watched some of Peter Kane, dog trainer, only because he had a video that when I was searching for my dog's breed, I came across this and he was kind of funny. Not your typical dog trainer, F-bombs and things like that are going off. So I found that kind of entertaining. And so I watched a few of his, but I wasn't keeping up with it, and it was filling up my notifications, so I believe I might have unsubscribed from that. And then I've never really watched YouTube, so usually it's just whatever, clickbait catches my attention. But subscribing, not really anything that's not diamond painting. So I'm going to skip that one. It's not interesting. What are your favorite stores to buy diamond paintings online and or real world? Well, I've only had experience with 3 stores so far online, and one in real world, Michael's in real world, Diamond Dots. That's all good. Very happy with their product. It is expensive unless you get the coupon, like we've all said. I need to get started again, or I'm never going to do anything as far as actual drilling here. Need to find the appropriate glasses again. And I need to scoot up because I can't see. My glasses are dirty. And excuse me if I got into the the frame on that, but I'm kind of frazzled because I was not expecting to have time today. And was not prepared. Online, I have purchased from Paint with Diamonds. Don't think I'll buy from them again. That's this one, and I'm really thinking I'm going to run out of drills. I have lots of Q left to go, and as far as Q307, let me find it. Gotta move. I've got too much going on here. I'm going to keep sticking my head in the frame. I know it. Let me find it. I think I showed you guys this before. I'm down to like not a lot, and they're all really shitty. Let me put them in a tray and see if you can see. They look bad. They're like, let me see. I'm going to try and do this without bumping because I keep running into this tripod. It's actually on the floor, so the legs are spread all the way out, and I'm like wrapped around it. But where's the camera? Here you are. They've got these black spots all over them. And so I just keep picking the cleanest ones I can. And yeah, it's kind of bugging me. So yeah, they look diseased, but I think I'm going to run out and I'm going to be upset since I've already had so many issues with this. So yeah, Paint with Diamonds. I wouldn't recommend them. Then we have Diamond Art Club. Absolutely buy from them. I know they're expensive. You get what you pay for. You don't want problems, you go to them, okay? If there is a problem, they're going to fix it, and they're going to fix it better than you ever imagined. So that's my go-to. And then I bought one from Glymga, Glymg, and I have not done any of those yet, so I don't know, other than the unboxing. I don't know if I'm out of drills or anything. I haven't started any of those yet. So those are my three stores online, and then Michael's. So I haven't been doing this long enough to be, you know, having favorites yet. And let's see here. So let me, again, get started. Let's see. I need to pick one that has lots of stuff, because otherwise I get so distracted that I just never start. So we're going to do 3354. Let me dump some of that into a tray. And I was having a lot of issues with dumping my beads out on this angled surface. I've never worked on one that's that pitched. So I'm trading in my favorite for this one. Has a little bit higher sides. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe they're exactly the same. I guess they're exactly the same. For some reason, it just feels like they're higher because this has angled sides, so it tends to whoosh, just slide out. And these, I don't know, we'll try it. We'll see what happens. So, God, I'm frazzled and I'm sweating like crazy because I'm like scrambling to get everything set up. I had taken the tripod down and everything. I mean, but my husband is busy working outside right now. It stopped raining and he's painting, so he's in between bands of rain, and got home and like, oh my God, okay. So, I always pick out my dimple doos first, whatever I can see, because I am so blind. I can't see them very well, so I want to get as many out as I can see before and you probably can't see what I'm doing. I want to get as many out before I start as I can see while I got it close to my face. And the ones that are, God, warped. Where did that go? Lost it. All right, anyway, let's get to the questions. All right, what is the, what's your favorite diamond painting so far? Complete or incomplete? I'm thinking incomplete, my mermaid. I'm really excited about it. Can't wait to do it. That's all I'm going to say, because I spent way too much time answering these questions before. I'm never going to get through this. And let's see here. Do you have a job outside of YouTube? Yes, I do. sell personal lines insurance. Just got licensed this year. I've been working for the company since August of last year. And I passed my exam to get licensed in all 50 states and DC. And great people that I work with. The company seems fantastic. The benefits are good. The flexibility with your schedule is great. I'm very happy with the company, and you do get the opportunity to work from home. So I am on the list to go home. And I don't know whether or not it's going to happen this round or not. They have, they send you home in groups, and they just sent a group of people home in July. I missed that round. You had to be completely finished with training before the list was submitted, and there's a deadline to submit the list. So my training ended 2 days after the list was due, so I missed it by like 2 days. So I wasn't eligible to go home on this last round, and so the next one is August, and I'm on the list. I don't know what number I am on the list or how many people are going home, but that's the hope, is that I get to work from home. So I'm looking forward to that. Would be able to start work a whole lot earlier than I do now, just for the fact that I'm a night owl, and I tend to stay up till, midnight or 1 a.m. And my schedule when I began there was 10 to 7, so, I got kind of used to that, not having to get up really early. And my new schedule is now 8:30 to 5, and it's a struggle for me to get up and ready for work. And then I have, I got to give myself at least like 45 minutes to drive there because of traffic where I live. So if I work from home, number one, I don't need to get showered and dressed and makeup and curling the hair and the whole thing before I can answer a phone call. I can just roll out of bed and throw on a headset and start answering calls. And then during my lunch break, I could take a shower. So that would be nice to be able to start earlier and end earlier, because of the fact that I don't have to commute and I don't have to get ready, full-blown hair and makeup. I've started out full-blown hair and makeup. I am a strong believer in dress for the job you want, not the job you have. But it is so casual where I work that it's really hard to maintain that. First thing to go was the heels. I stopped wearing heels about 4 months in. And then the next thing to go was the clothing kind of went down a notch. I'm still not quite to sweatpants, but I live in flip-flops, so I get to wear flip-flops to work. But it's Florida, so that's kind of standard, I guess, down here. A lot less of the skirts and stuff, and more of the capri pants and the casual clothing. But it would be nice to not have to deal with any of that and work from home. So yes, that's my job outside of work. Outside of diamond painting. That's my new career. I sell you some insurance, and can give you some coverage counseling if you're not quite sure what kind of liability limits you should have. I do autos and special lines, so snowmobiles, motorcycles, boats, motorhomes, travel trailers, all of that. ATVs, I can do it all. Sales and service on all of that in all of the states. So that was 9 months of training to get to where I'm at right now. But it's great. I really like it. And for the most part, the people that I talk to throughout the day are really, really great. You know, I talk to people from all over the country, and people are just, for the most part, they're great. I mean, what I do at my job, I am on a specialty team. I'm customer preservation. So I'm the person when somebody says that they're upset with their rate and they're considering shopping other companies, or they want to cancel their policy or whatever, they get transferred to my team to try and keep them, do whatever we can to keep our customers happy and keep them with the company. So my specialty is smoothing ruffled feathers, putting out fires, problem solving, getting creative. And I'm usually pretty successful in taking that person who starts out swearing and cursing and ranting and talking over me and just livid, to getting them calm to the point where many times I've had them then either apologize to me or thank me profusely, ask to speak to my supervisor to let them know how, you know, happy they were with me, asking for my direct line so that if they ever need anything again, they could just deal with me instead of, you know, whoever randomly answers the phone. So that always makes me feel good when I take that person who's just fit to be tied and ready to cancel their policy, whether they have other insurance in place or not, because they're just so pissed off, to getting them to the point where, you know, they're like, you know, praising my company and recommending us to other people because of the service. And, you know, again, same thing with the diamond painting. You get what you pay for. So we might not be the cheapest company out there, but our goal is the service, not the price necessarily. So that's another long-winded answer. I just am such a talker. I've been closed up in a room alone for so many years with nobody to talk to that it all comes out. But I'm kind of kidding. I tend to be a quiet person unless I get to know you and I feel like I know you guys. So chat, chat, chat. Dropped another one. But yeah, I guess that's enough about me and my career. I'll probably talk about that again some other time, because I'm not planning on stopping making these videos anytime soon, and I'm sure, you know, it'll come up again. So that's good enough for now, because I do want to finish Brandy's tag. Number 11, tell us about your family. Oh my God. Yeah, this is not a quick tag. All right. Again, in the spirit of keeping things brief, just the facts, ma'am. I have been married for, it'll be 7 years next month. I have 5 sons. 2 of them are my husband's kids from his first marriage, and 3 are mine from previous relationships. And my dog, Jasmine, my little girl. That's my immediate family. I'm going to keep it to that right now, because I got a big family and there's a million stories. Those are going to be probably like my bread and butter when we get through all the basics about me, and I have nothing to talk about. I'm just going to start telling stories about random family members, because, I mean, you could write a trilogy or more of books about the oddities going on in my family, both sides. So, tell us about any pets that you have now, had in the past, or want in the future. Okay, well, if you've watched even a few of my videos, you've already heard about Jasmine. She was a dog that we got for me to help with my depression. She's my depression dog. uncertified therapy dog. She is a Coton de Tulier. And I took one of those online quizzes matching your personality to the best breed for you. And that was what came up, was Coton de Tulier. And if you've never heard of it, don't worry about it. Neither had I. They're a pretty rare breed in the United States. They're originally from Madagascar. They were brought to the United States in the 1970s by a man who had gone to Madagascar doing some sort of research, and he brought back, must have been at least a breeding pair of these dogs to the States in the 70s. And I don't know if they're recognized now by the American Kennel Club or not. I think there's some debate over that and stuff, but I don't get into that. I didn't get her for breeding her or her pedigree. I got her for the breed's temperament. So anyway, if you've watched any number of my videos, you've caught glimpses of her. So she's my current pet. Past pets. Let's see, I'll just try and go through those quickly. When I was born, my mom already had German Shepherds. She had gotten a German Shepherd and had her bred in a litter, and she kept one of the litter, so we had the German Shepherds. And I remember them a little bit. I don't know how old I was when they were, put down. Hip dysplasia. It's common with the German Shepherds, but I kind of remember them, but not real well. So I'm thinking I was younger than even going into first grade when we last had them. I know when I was in elementary school, we had a St. Bernard. McTavish was his name, Max for short, and he used to let me ride him like a horse. He was great, very calm, sweet dog. And his original owners had asked, apparently, my parents if they would take him because they knew we had dog runs in the backyard. We had kennels back there for the German Shepherds, and they were empty because the German Shepherds were gone, but we still had them. So they apparently, wherever they were moving, couldn't have him, and asked my parents if they would take him. And they did, and we had him for a few years. I don't know how many years. I have no idea. There's no time reference to me. I just remember coming home from school, and my job was to make sure he had fresh water. But I also remember the day that they came to get him, because wherever they moved again, they were able to take him back. So I do remember that, when they came to get him, took him back. Oh no, take that back. They did not come get him back. I guess my mom got sick of him. She gave him away to somebody else. But I remember him leaving. I remember somebody coming and taking him. Yeah, he was a sweet dog. Then after him, we had a Westie named Toby. That was probably when I was like 4th or 5th grade. And he was my best friend for many years. I used to dress him in doll clothes, and I had a doll cradle that he would lay in, all dressed up in his little bonnet and dresses and stuff, and he'd let me do absolutely anything to him. He was an awesome dog. Loved him to death. And then had a cat after him, Stinker, black cat, some parakeets. I don't remember their names. Hamsters. I love hamsters. I had some regular teddy bear hamsters and some Siberian hamsters. And then when I was in college, I got myself another Westie. And her name was Harley. And I had her for 9 years. And I had her up through when I got married, and then we had to have her put down. She apparently had jumped off my son's bed, and Westies have a rather stiff back. They're not particularly flexible dogs, and she had apparently dislocated or knocked out of whack some of the discs in her spine, and she just went downhill. She couldn't move. I had to, squeeze her bladder manually to have her go to the bathroom. and everything. So she lasted about a week or so before I couldn't stand seeing her in pain anymore and had her put down. But she was sweet too, but she wasn't nearly as patient and everything as Toby, her predecessor, had been, as far as, you know, me babying her. She didn't like wearing her little leather jacket I got her and all that stuff. She didn't like that stuff, where Toby would let you dress him up in anything. After she was put down, we got Duncan. He was a Brittany Spaniel that we rescued from a no-kill shelter, and I think he might have been a trained hunting dog, because the first Easter that we had him, I always hid real eggs in the house. And my son was, you know, trying to go around and find the eggs, and he kept asking me to lock up the dog, because Duncan kept doing that pointing stance where he'd put his nose where the egg would be and lift one front foot and just stand there looking out the side of his head at you like, hey, come here, it's over here. And my son was getting really upset because the dog was wrecking all of his fun. So I think Duncan might have been a trained hunting dog, who, I'm guessing this is all just my story in my head based on, you know, having the dog. I think he, for whatever reason, was ruined as a hunting dog because of being gun shy, because he was terrified of lightning and thunder and would hide in the basement. As soon as the first sign of, you know, a thunder crack, he was gone until well after the storm had passed. So I think he was a hunting dog that somehow got wrecked. And then I had to give him back to the shelter because we moved to an apartment and didn't allow pets. My son did have another black cat. I have a thing for black cats, named Luna. We had her for a while, and we had to get rid of her again because we moved. Well, no, we did. That's another long story. Anyway, we got rid of her. And then I had Manzana. She was a orange kind of tiger striped cat that my next door neighbor had. And Manzana was primarily an outdoor cat, and I would feed her all the time, and got to the point where she'd come over and hang out in my house for days at a time, and I made sure my neighbor knew that I was letting her in, and she was fine with it because it was an outdoor cat and she didn't keep track of it anyway. So when I moved from Wisconsin back to well, no, I take that back. See, I can't remember. I've moved so many times. When I moved, at one point, I asked her if she wanted her cat back because, you know, the cat was pretty much living with me by that point. And she said, nah, just take her with you. So I brought the cat with me, but then I moved again into an apartment, renting a house that didn't allow pets. And so I had to give her up, and I asked her if she wanted the cat back, and she said no. So unfortunately, I had to take her to a shelter, but I did take her to a no-kill shelter, so got rid of her. And then I had Molly at the same time as Manzana. Molly was a border collie, and I got from another shelter. She would herd my kids. I have twin boys, and at the time that I got Molly, I think they were about 4 years old. And we had a fenced-in yard, and I had built a swing set for the kids, you know, one of the big wooden ones that you get at like Home Depot or Menards, the kit. So I built that, and I built the fence. Proud to say, from scratch. I designed the fence and made it myself, dug the post holes myself, did the whole thing myself. And if I find pictures, I'll insert them here. But anyway, Molly, when the kids would go outside to play, she would herd them back into the house all the time, which was funny. But I had to get rid of her when we moved into that house we were renting. So Manzana and Molly both had to go at the same time. Molly, we ended up giving to my husband's sister, my sister-in-law. she and her husband took it, and then they ended up getting divorced, and now that her ex-husband has Molly. I don't know if she's still with him or not, but she was a sweet dog too. She always slept in the kids' beds, and she could actually make it up to the top bunk in the bunk beds, and she would sleep with my son up in the top bunk of the bunk bed. And then after that, we were in that house we were renting for a couple of years and couldn't have any pets, so we had fish, and I'm not a fish person, but my husband had lots of aquariums. He's a big fish person. He used to have an aquarium in every single room of his house. Everybody had one in the bedroom, one in the living room, one in the dining room, one everywhere. He had fish tanks everywhere, and I'm not talking little fish tanks. I'm talking 100-gallon fish tanks in every room. So I don't count those. And they had turtles and all kinds of shit that the kids would bring home from the marsh. But so then we moved back into a house that I owned. And that is when we got Jasmine, my current dog. And we got her while we were in Wisconsin. I drove to Michigan to get her from a breeder. And I've had her now for 2.5 years. She'll be 3 in November. So, that's the history of my pets. And unless you're a pet person, you were completely bored by that. But yeah, I've always had a dog and a cat. Usually both. I've had dogs and cats at the same time almost my entire life. Oh, I forgot about Mindy. We had a tiger striped cat named Mindy as a kid. We had another black cat, Sabrina, as a kid. But yeah, always had dogs and cats and hamsters and parakeets and all kinds of animals. Always, until we were renting that house and couldn't have pets. And that just really, I felt like something was missing in my life, not having pets. But now we've got Jasmine, so all is good and well with the world again. But I certainly wouldn't mind necessarily if we got a second Catone. Can't do cats or anything anymore. My husband and one of the kids are allergic to cats, highly allergic, so we can't have cats. And Jasmine's breed is hypoallergenic. So nobody has any allergy issues with her, which is good, because I'm actually allergic to dogs and cats too. But I have found, and I believe this is true, it's not bullshit, that constant exposure to the same animal, I become immune to that animal. So when I get a new dog or a new cat, I'm allergic and miserable for several weeks, month, whatever, and eventually it kind of subsides to the point where I'm now immune to that animal. And if I go over to somebody else's house who has dogs or cats, I'm just as allergic to theirs because I'm not around it enough. But I do believe that you can become immune, build up a tolerance for a specific animal. So that's why I've always had animals, even though I am allergic to them. So this tilt table idea, I mean, there's some kinks to work out. You can see every once in a while it shifts on me and stuff. I kind of just threw that together really quick, you can see. But I don't like doing this so much. I just keep dropping beads, drills, whatever. I keep dropping them all over myself, and it's really irritating. Whereas when I work on a flat surface, they don't fall to the floor. Because I have a really thick pile rug in here, and I swear to God, I have to like flip the rug over and shake it out, and all the diamonds come out because you can't see them. Kind of a pain in the ass. So I'm not digging the whole tilt table thing. It's kind of really pissing me off, dropping them all over the place. Especially when you're so low on some colors that you're worried you're going to run out, and then you're thinking, well, how many of them are in the carpet? But, so, all right, now my tablet died with my questions on it. So next question. What was your first custom diamond painting, or what do you want your first custom diamond painting to be of? Okay, I don't have a custom. And what I want it to be of, there is an artist that I found on DeviantArt. And I have Googled her, and I have searched for her on Heaven and Earth, and I have found nothing of her work charted for cross stitch. And I love her stuff, absolutely love it. It's kind of a romantic fantasy meets gothic kind of thing, you know, the women with the flowing dresses and fairies and you know, queens and elegant women, and some are witches and some are really, you know, revealing mermaids. I mean, it's all just very cool. She's a digital artist, and I love her work, and so I have not found anything charted for her. So finally last week, I messaged. I found her Facebook page. I did find that, and was looking through it to see how recently she posted, and she hasn't put anything up there since like April of this year. But I did message her, introduced myself, and asked for her permission to use one of her artworks for my own personal purposes to create a diamond painting. And I have not heard back, which is kind of disappointing because I really would love to do her artwork in a diamond painting. And I don't know, I mean, she might be a really, really successful artist. I think she's from, God, I don't know what country she's from. If it's Spain, I think she might be from Spain, but for all I know, she's extremely popular in her country and not in need of any kind of extra, you know, attention. I don't know, but I would think that based on what I've seen other people doing for their diamond paintings and the subject matter and stuff, that she would be like extremely popular, and could get some sort of really great, you know, licensing deal with somebody, whether it's Heaven and Earth Designs or one of the other big companies. I gave her name and a link to her Facebook page to one of the big companies, somebody that I've dealt with before, letting them know that I thought that she would be great for an artist for subject matter on diamond painting, and that, you know, I would love for her to be available for diamond paintings, but I don't know if anything will happen with that. And I hate to just, you know, take something, you know, without giving, you know, credit, and, you know, I want permission. If she wants money for it, you know, I'm not wealthy by any means, to be able to give her something in order to use her image. I don't know, I guess I'd have to move on, but I think that she has a potential for some, you know, gaining some fame. Again, don't know if she needs it, but I guess I'm basing that on the fact that Googling her, all I find is DeviantArt, and I don't find anything else about her anywhere. So that's what I would love to do. If I can't do that, then I don't know. Don't know what I'll do. But I want to make my own from scratch, including the canvas. Not buying a blank charted graded canvas, not paying for a custom to have them do it. I want to do the whole thing, start to finish. The only thing I want to buy, you know, obviously is the diamonds from, you know, somebody, because I need the DMC colors. I'm not going to, you know, start manufacturing diamonds myself, but I want to try doing the whole canvas process, creating the chart from the image, you know, all the way down to customizing my symbols to the way I want them, the whole thing myself, and then figuring out how to create the canvas. I think I got it figured out. And then just order the diamonds that I need and go at it and see if that works. I guess the one dangerous part with that would be if I make it so DIY. I don't want a bunch of, you know, artists getting ripped off that everybody's stealing their stuff and doing it. But I think that it's already happening with all the manufacturers in China are just doing it right now. Doesn't make it okay to start doing it too, but I don't know. Damn it. See, I just dumped like another dozen in my lap. I just not liking the tilt table, girls. Not liking it. But yeah, so anyway, of course, if I just made one and never had a YouTube channel and never anybody outside of my house ever saw it, who the hell would ever know, right? But so I'm kind of torn on the morality of just doing what I want with that, obviously. Much rather have her answer me and say, yes, please, I love it, and mention my name often and, you know, in loud volume as you're showing off this painting that you did of my artwork. That's my ideal. And then maybe that leads to, you know, her picking up a business deal with one of the big companies to start doing her work. That's what I would love to see happen, but I don't know that matters a boo to her, so. But yeah, I really like her stuff. I'm going to keep my mouth shut as to who it is, because I don't want to taint the process. So we'll see what happens with that, if anything. Yeah, and I can tell you, because I do this on a flat surface at work, I was completely fine with getting my drills in here straight. Not a problem in the world. On this tilt thing, they're all wonky, crooked, all over the place. I cannot do this, and I'm sure with practice I would be better at it. But right now, I mean, I'm just making a holy hell mess of this thing. Like, I don't know, is that in the right spot? Probably. I'm down pretty good, but I just saw a yellow one. Where did it go? I saw a yellow one that was like sitting on an edge, so it was clearly something I just dropped on there, and now I can't find it. I don't know where it went. But, okay. Next question. Do you have any tattoos or piercings? If not, do you want any? I'm a boring middle-aged woman with a wild side. I have one piercing in my right ear, in the typical place. And then I got all crazy and rebellious in high school, and my left ear, I had 2 piercings. Okay, that was a short story. So that's it. That's all I've got. I do like tattoos. I really would like to get one eventually, I think. I mean, I was I put a lot of thought into this for a while. Years ago, I was dating somebody who had tattoos. And I was like hell-bent that I was going to get one. Midlife crisis, whatever was going on, I don't know. But I was trying to figure out what I wanted. And I saw so many beautiful tattoos. Some were like they were all like really big. Everything that I looked at was like huge. Like it would take a, you know, where I would probably do it if I wasn't so damn fat now. This was all before I gained all this weight. Would be like up my side, you know, from my hip up my rib cage, and maybe wrap kind of around the back side. But I thought about doing like either like some sort of feminine figure, whether she's in some sort of flowing dress, or whether it was some sort of scenery with like a pool of water with a koi fish, and then, you know, willow tree and dragonflies, and kind of get on all those things. Peacock standing on the shore, so I can get all my favorite things into one tattoo. I don't know, but yeah, I never did it, which is, you know, good, because it'd be like a shrinky dink at this point if I ever did lose weight, and just stretch and release and stretch and release. So I'll probably never get one. My husband doesn't care for them. And marriage is a compromise. So, yeah, I probably won't ever get one. Maybe for my 50th, I'll get a tattoo. Something little somewhere. Little dragonfly or something somewhere on my body. But yes, I do like them. And I personally, though, and again, my personal opinion is wherever I get it, I want it to be somewhere where you're not going to see it. And people, you know, are, well, why get one if nobody's going to see it? Just because of me, my personal choices, you know, the environment I grew up in, people that I, you know, associate with, not common. And so I wouldn't want it anywhere that if I was in an evening gown that it would show, and I wouldn't want it anywhere that if I was, you know, in shorts and a tank top it would show. And I'm way past bikini days, so bathing suit depends. But yeah, I don't want something that I have to like be careful of what I purchase in my wardrobe for an event to hide something. So that's why I thought torso, because I'm not going to be wearing any, you know, skimpy dresses anymore at this point in my life. That, and I think part of that attitude that came from the last company I worked for. I was there 10 years, and you could not have any exposed tattoos anywhere on your body. And they started cracking down on it. So you had to cover them. So it looked like The Walking Wounded. Everybody had like bandages all over their bodies to cover up their tattoos. And that went on for a couple months. And then they're like, you know, this looks ridiculous. Like a bomb went off in the building because everybody had, you know, a big old gauze pad on the, you know, their arm or their wrist or their ankle and everything. And it was like, okay, let's stop with the cracking down on the tattoos, because it's obviously just a normal thing in today's culture to have the exposed tattoos. So, but yeah, I still don't quite get people who get them on their face. I don't understand that. So, there, that's my tattoo and piercings. Would you ever do a Heaven and Earth Designs diamond painting? If yes, what would it be? If you did one, any regrets? No, I have not done one, and no, I don't think I ever will. But that doesn't mean I won't. My opinion is Heaven and Earth Designs is one brand. Kleenex versus Puffs. And just because, you know, they're popular doesn't mean there aren't other charts out there for other things that I love, that I would just do that instead once I figure out how to do my own painting. Because Heaven and Earth is not providing the canvases pre-printed. They're providing a chart, and it's just a cross-stitch chart. And I can buy those under any name. It doesn't have to be Heaven and Earth Designs. So, no, probably not. I would rather ask permission to use it and do it myself. But that's me. If Heaven and Earth did sell kitted diamond paintings with the pattern already on it, yeah, probably, then I would. But right now, no. No, I'm not going to spend the money for a chart that just from one company. I mean, what makes them better than anybody else? So, you know, people say, oh, because they don't have any half stitches or, well, no, I don't care. You know what? If I'm going to buy a chart, maybe I want to have it versatile for cross stitch or diamond painting, and maybe I want the half stitches and the quarter stitches and all that, and maybe I do. And then, you know, have my own way of converting it to diamond painting, decide which, you know, color I'm going to switch that little box over to. But as far as cross stitch goes, I don't get what the big deal is, because I mean the back stitching and all that stuff, that's what makes it beautiful. Why would you want to take all those and turn it into a cross stitch pattern that has none of the good stuff? I don't get it. Sorry everybody who is like gaga over Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm not on board with that. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be cynical or mean or anything. I just don't see what all the fuss is about. I really don't. I know I saw one and now I've lost it. And that's not to say I won't change my mind on that, because I might. But yeah, I would, there's so many other things that I can find just looking through images on Google Images, and then, you know, look for if that's charted by anybody, and if not, write the artist and say, hey, do you mind if I convert this into a diamond painting for my own personal use to hang in my living room? Oh, and by the way, I have a YouTube channel, and I'll keep mentioning your name over and over again, so that everybody else starts stealing your shit. I don't know. I don't know how, you know, becoming more popular as an artist is ever going to be a bad thing for somebody, unless, you know, you never actually sell anything. But I would think if you become really popular, then your actual prints become more valuable. And the people who have the money and want, you know, the originals, are going to pay a lot more for it. So I would think it's a win. But again, I'm not an artist. I'm not in the art world. I don't know. I'm just talking out my butt. What is your favorite quote? They're all going to be so mean and nasty sounding, because that's the first thing that pops into my head when I think of quotes. Life's a bitch and then you die. Slicker than deer guts on a doorknob. Colder than a witch's tit. That's about all I can think of right now, other than my mind was going 12 miles an hour. I love that one. Thank you, Christina, for that one. My husband and I used to have some little quotes between each other that were funny as hell. You know, the shit you remember from when you first start dating. Funny things people say. I guess. Okay, I'm going to share some of those, and you're getting no explanation. I don't want to get naked. I don't know. That's about it. I don't even know if I'm going to keep that last one, and he'll probably have a hemorrhage if he knew that I shared that one with the world. But that was a pretty fun one. And it's out of context, so just remember that. Oh, and here's another one. This one is at my expense. What are we going to do about that mustache? He said that to me. So those are my favorite quotes. Nothing inspirational. Nothing motivational. Nothing uplifting. But that's, I guess, what came to mind today. Some other day I might have some other quotes, but that's what's coming to mind today. Okay. Okay, tell us one thing you love about diamond painting and one thing that irritates you about diamond painting. Okay, I love the whole process of shopping, looking, digging, looking for something to buy, researching, you know, comparison shopping, price shopping, all of that. Round versus, I love that whole thing, okay? I don't like waiting for them to come. That's the one thing I hate. I love unboxing if it goes well. I love organizing. I love kitting it up as far as getting everything into their little containers and labeling. I love all of that. I love the process of doing the diamond painting. I don't love issues with the canvas. I have not had any with missing drills yet, but I anticipate that I'm going to have that soon. So I'm not going to love that. So yeah, I guess the thing that I don't love is quality control is lacking. I love the community on YouTube. I love the social aspect of it, of having a group of people you can talk to and socialize with. I love all of that. And I don't think the cost is terrible either, because I was a cross stitcher and that's way more expensive, in my opinion, than diamond painting. You know, I'd spend easily $150 between the fabric and the pattern and the beads and the this and the that, and then, you know, another couple $100 for the framing, and, you know, all said and done, something that ended up costing me like $400 for one picture. Diamond painting is not that expensive compared to that. And I love that you can pick it up and put it down so quickly. It doesn't take as long to do as cross stitch, so that's a bonus. No threading of needles. If you screw up, it's quick to undo it versus tearing out, you know, incorrect stitches. That's a bitch. And then you get, yeah. So yeah, I like this way better than cross stitch. So yeah, I think it's just the quality thing is my only issue, and the amount of time for shipping. So that's it for that. Okay, what are, let's see. Tell us about your favorites, colors, food, season, month, holiday. Okay, let's start. My favorite color, plum. And I also like everything in that color family. I like deep blood red. I like dark teal. I like cobalt blue. I like all the kind of the gemstone kind of colors, the deep, dark, fully saturated colors in the blue side of the spectrum. I don't like yellow and orange and all that. I don't like that side of the spectrum. That's way too fucking happy for me. So, like the moody colors. Okay, food. I love king crab legs. That's probably my favorite. But now, the last time I had it, probably decades, you know, for good king crab legs, because I am not in the same, you know, financial situation as my parents were. I'm much different category there. So you don't get to go out for crab legs, you know. I'm in a better situation than as a single mom. It's hamburger helper, hold the hamburger, because we can't afford hamburgers. We're just going to have helper for dinner. But yeah, crab legs, shrimp. But mainly I have a sweet tooth. Love desserts, cake, carrot cake. Love carrot cake, cheesecake, ice cream, that kind of stuff. Cookies. Not chocolate chip. I like oatmeal raisin and macadamia nut. White chocolate macadamia. Those are okay. Season and month. Summer. I have seasonal depression, so fall, although it's pretty, it's the beginning of the depression, because I know what's coming is winter. I don't like winter. I used to as a kid, because I was into downhill skiing, but no more. So, and spring is just mucky, and I'm so sick of winter. Now, all these answers, this is based on living in the Midwest. Now that I'm in Florida, it's going to be completely different, but I haven't been here long enough to, you know, to change that ingrained mentality that I've had my entire life. So these answers are based on before I moved. And then spring was just muddy and dirty, and God, another freaking snowstorm, because it would still snow in May sometimes. I mean, it's ridiculous. And it's still cold. If it's under 80 degrees, I'm freezing. I like it, you know. My perfect temperature is like anywhere from 85 to 92. I'm good. So that's favorite season, summer, now that I'm in Florida. Winters are very pleasant, but it's too cold to go in the pool. So still not winter. Summer is pretty damn hot, but it doesn't matter if you're floating in the pool. If I didn't have a pool, I'd probably hate summer, but I like it down here because just plop into the pool, and the water is like bath water because it's been heating for months. So the water's like, you know, 84 degrees. It's really nice. So yeah, right now it's still summer. Ask me in another year or two and I might have changed my mind. Your best diamond painting tips and tricks. Instant tacky. That's my best one. I don't know. I don't know that I've come up with, you know, any other tips that you don't see everybody else talking about on all the other channels. So, yeah, I don't think I have any other little tips for anybody. I probably, if I sat here and thought about it long enough, I'd probably come up with something else, but yeah, I'm going to move on. I don't want to sit here in silence thinking. What does a typical day and or week look like for you? I work Tuesdays through Saturdays. So for me, my weekend is Sunday and Monday, and on Sundays, right now my husband is getting his business together, so we don't have time to do things. He's just working, trying to get it off the ground so he can start, get his business up and making money, because we're going off of one income now for over a year, and it's a struggle. So when we do have a spare moment on a Sunday, you know, we'll go to Disney World. We got passes. On a Monday, he's busy working, so I'm doing my diamond painting or watching YouTube or catching up on Netflix or whatever, floating in the pool. That's my Monday. Tuesday through Saturday, I work 8:30 to 5. So I get up, you know, 6:30, get ready for work. I leave at like 7:45 so that I'm there and ready to take calls at 8:30, and then I get off at 5 and get stuck in traffic on the way home, get home 5:45, eat dinner, watch TV, and then when my husband announces that he's going to bed, I either go to bed at the same time as him, and then once he falls asleep, I watch Netflix on my tablet or get up and go back into another room to do something. If I decide to stay up, like if the next day I don't work, then I am up till the wee hours, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, doing all those same things, watching Netflix or diamond painting videos on YouTube or whatever. I'm a night owl. So that's my typical week. Work, home, TV, Disney World, occasionally, YouTube. Not too exciting. All right. I'm going to check to see if this is even still filming because I have so little memory on my phone. It might have stopped like an hour ago and I have no clue. Oh, it is still taping. Woo! That's exciting. Okay. And I hope you guys can see okay. I'm going to zoom out now because I've been in so close. I don't really know how much you were able to see for that. Okay, now, question 21. Let me get to the next question here. Okay. We're almost to the end. There's 25 questions. And I'll probably end up splitting this into 2 videos because I'm probably over 2 hours. Question 21. What tools make diamond painting easier for you? Well, it's not really a tool, but the instant tacky, love that. My reading glasses, couldn't do it without them. And as far as other stuff, I don't have all kinds of trays. I have my original one from Diamond Dots. This is all I've ever used until this whole deal. And then I'm trying this. I have shit tweezers. I don't have any good ones. My little scrap bucket. And I do love my, these, craft mates. And my Tic Tac boxes. I don't have a bunch of fancy tools. My light pad. I do like that. Again, not necessary. It's nice, but not needed. I'm not using a light pad right now. I can see just fine. But it is nice to have. The only issue with the light pad is that if you are lighting it from underneath, which I do when I'm watching TV, I can't see from above. So I'm just placing little things to cover up the light, and I have no idea if the drills are shitty or not. I can't see them. So that's why I've been using it with the round drills on that rhinestone one, because the round don't tend to have issues with them, like little divots and dimples and pimples and pock marks and all that other stuff. So, and then at work, it's daylight, and I can see just fine. With my light pad, with the overhead fluorescent lights in the office, so that's not a big deal. But a light pad certainly is nice to have, in that when I'm on the couch doing it, I have a bed pillow and the cushions from the couch, not the regular throw pillows, and I just set the light pad on the arm of the sofa and, you know, throw enough pillows underneath it or whatever to kind of wedge it in place, and it's my table. Because the light pad I have is really big. So that's nice. But yeah, I don't have any, you know, tilt tables or, you know, lap tables or none. I don't have any of that stuff. I can't really justify any of that stuff when I, you know, bitched and moaned until I got this great big gorgeous craft table in my room, craft room, and then I'm going to spend money on lap table. No, I'm going to use my craft room because I bitched for years about wanting a craft room, so I better damn use it. I don't see any more 5s. I think I got them all. Okay. Next question is, would you recommend diamond painting to friends and family and have you? Yes, absolutely. Coworkers, constantly. Yeah, you should try it. You should try it. It's fun. Try it. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the end of that. Would you recommend starting a YouTube channel to friends and family? Absolutely. Absolutely. Keep yourself out of trouble. So much better than hanging out in a bar. So much better than a lot of things you could be doing. It's constructive. You're creating something beautiful. You're socializing. And hopefully you're getting some positive feedback from your peers. So it's not bad for the self-esteem. I just dumped this color in here and I don't even need it. I'm just like randomly like grabbing colors because I'm not paying attention because multitasking is the devil. Okay. See, I cannot do 2 things at once. So yes, I would recommend doing a YouTube channel. Why not? What do you got to lose? Just, you know, if you're a really private person, don't talk about really private things. If you're married to somebody who's a really private person, use extreme caution. Okay, is there anything that you want to say or that you want us to know about life, family, friends, YouTube, or diamond painting? No, there isn't. I am certainly no role model in any of those areas of life or family or friends or YouTube or diamond painting. I am not a role model for anybody, so I'm not going to give anybody any, you know, anything on that subject. I am, you know, floundering in this whole area, well, all those areas, you know, I have my own issues with life and family and friends. And for me, so far, my safe place is YouTube and diamond painting. So, yeah. Wasn't that deep. Okay. And finally, number 25. What does your ideal future look like for Gone Off My Meds? Upcoming projects, videos, and series. Wow. My ideal future. Not the where do you see yourself in 5 years, but let's be idealistic. What is the ultimate for Gone Off My Meds? Let me get a color going and answer that. 3609. My ideal. Gone Off My Meds. Okay, ideally. Ideally, I would like to have a positive impact on people's lives. I would like to have people either add a little joy to their life, a little fun, a little laugh. If somebody's having a bad day, to put a little fun, a little brightness, a little something in their life. If, you know, if I can show people that, like with my toilet video, I mean, how awesome was that? Don't be afraid to try things. You know, I was a single mom for so long, and I bought houses I could afford, which were literally crack houses, meth labs, that kind of shit. Those were the houses I would buy, and I bought myself books on how to do electrical work. And my father has a hobby of doing woodworking, so I asked him lots of questions and lots of self-taught. I mean, a lot of self-teaching, because I never actually like stood next to Dad in the wood shop and said, okay, now how do you do this? No, it was calling him, because I lived a couple hours away, and I call him on the phone. Hey, Dad, how do I do this? How do I do that? So it was, you know, being talked through over the phone. Lots of research, learn how to do it, and do it, because I only had myself to rely on. I lived 2 hours from my family, and I was now alone with 2 kids living in a former, you know, meth lab. I had to learn how to fix it up, because I didn't want to live like that in squalor and a shithole. And I didn't want my kids being ashamed of where they grew up. So I had to learn how to do it. I had no choice. Now, I suppose I could have rented a place that was nicer, but probably not, because I was fortunate enough that my grandfather had left when he died. He'd set up a trust for each of the grandkids for some, you know, little bit of an inheritance, and I had enough for a down payment on a house. So, not a great house, again, meth lab house, which, you know, down payment on that is, you know, not a lot. But at least then I had an investment. When you rent, there's no investment. You get nothing back. It's, to me, you know, there's no return on that. Whereas if you buy a home, you get a return on it. So, yeah, so, and I think you pay more in rent than, you know, you would for your mortgage in a lot of cases. So I was better off buying a house than spending the money blowing through it and having a really nice apartment for a few years and have nothing to show for it. So that's what I did. But yeah, if I can show others, you know, men or women, anybody really, because I've met plenty of men who are scared to death to, you know, check the oil on their car or whatever. You can do it. You can do it. Figure it out, you know, whether you learn best by reading or watching, or if you've got somebody who, you know, is willing to mentor you and show you in person, teach you, learn how to do it. Learn how to take care of yourself. Because that is the scariest thing to me, is being dependent on somebody else. I guess I watch too much Lifetime TV, being in an abusive relationship and too scared to be alone that you stay in that kind of situation. Hell no. I want to know how to take care of myself so that I would never stay in a relationship that was poisonous because I was too afraid to be by myself. So, but again, you know, easier said than done. I haven't been in, you know, well, I guess I have, and I left because I wasn't afraid to be alone. So there you go. So yeah, I haven't been in that situation because I got the freak out because I wasn't afraid. Yeah, some of the basic things that you should know in life is how to shut off the power in your house, how to shut off the water in your house for the whole house. Shut off the power, shut off the water. Know where that source is and how to shut them off. Know how to shut off the source of each of your fixtures, your kitchen sink, your toilet, your bathroom sinks. Where do you shut that water off? How do you shut it off? And if there isn't a shut off, how do you shut off the house? You need to know that. So that's the kind of stuff I want. I want to empower everybody to be brave and try it. And if it's dangerous, get adult supervision. If it can cause permanent, expensive damage, you know, maybe get somebody who knows what they're doing to kind of help you out with that. But yeah, I mean, I've owned my own wet saw. I did my own tile work. I'll show pictures of that. I don't know if I have, I'm going to try, I'll insert here. Okay. I've done, rewired a kitchen, and I've removed knob and tube and replaced it with updated wiring. I've actually gone into the main box for the house and added circuits. I'm not afraid to take the panel off of the main box for the house. I've added 220. I've, you know, done all that. I've owned my own compound miter saw with a laser. I've owned my own table saw. I've owned my own shopsmith. If you don't know what that is, then, you know, maybe ask your husband if he knows anything about it. See what he thinks if a woman owned her own shopsmith. So yeah, I love woodworking. I love building. I love that. I'm no good at swinging a hammer, but I like doing it. So I miss a lot. But so that's the ideal for me, is bring a little joy into somebody's life and maybe teach them a little something about, you know, being a strong individual with confidence. So that's it. Talk to you all later.
I really do look like a really hideous drag queen. I mean, what's with those nostrils? Just hideous. Hideous. At least I'm prepared for a wig. I know where to find hats.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. And another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, hey, I'm gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust.